looking at the trend of New India, wherein Modi ji emphasizes on India becoming self-reliant and Atmanirbhar, how do you see architecture taking shape into the mold of being Atmanirbhar with moving towards the future?
See what a Prime Minister is doing right now. Many may hate him and whatever. I think the people are not understanding what he's trying to do. What he's only doing is getting us back to our roots. India, if you see, let's say it is 100 years old, okay? We are talking 1920s probably, correct?
Right.
We were not this job crazy oriented country. We were not this sarkari naukri chahiye for household wali baat. We were not these kind of people. We were basically a farming culture, correct?
Yeah.
And we used to be farmers and we used to live in our own homes. We used to create food in our own homes, correct?
Yeah.
If you see your life, my life, whosoever's life, okay? What are the things that you need to necessarily survive well, comfortably well? You need food, clothing,
Yeah.
shelter,
Yeah.
basic.
Yeah.
And in today's equation, you require Wi-Fi
True.
and a mobile phone, obviously, right?
Yeah.
That's all that you require.
Yeah.
India had all of this earlier also, apart from the Wi-Fi business,
True.
correct?
Yes.
So now what has happened? I think we spoke about reverse migration, if you remember.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Now due to COVID, a lot of our migrant workers who migrated to the cities have gone back. Now if we empower these people to be in their own villages, and if we can create a cultural, it's not a cultural thing, if we can create a situation wherein they can weave and create their own food, okay,
Yeah.
in their own place, in their own village, in their own hometown, wherever they be, right? So that itself is the first step to becoming Atmanirbhar, correct?
Right.
If you see India per se, our entire civilization, our entire culture, our entire dwellings have all happened around the rivers, correct?
Correct.
We are a tropical forest kind of a country, and we are a river based culture, basically speaking, correct?
Yeah.
Now, when you have such a kind of a situation, and if you are seeing when we are going on this road, and you've seen all around, you've seen the news, you've seen Gurugram, you've seen Delhi, and whatever has happened, a little more rainfall and everything is flooded.
Yeah.
The rivers are flooding, and in 2 months they will run dry. Okay? Now why does all this thing happen? Since we have so many kilometers of river, if we can create food forests, okay? Now the river is running through the village and the city and blah 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 whatever. Now this entire banks of the river on both sides, if you start planting fruit growing trees and give it to the farmer, when it is run as a cooperative, okay, now trees don't require daily efforts. It's the first 5 years, and once in 4 months somebody goes and has to clear the wood around, place around it and so on, right? So once the tree has grown, it is going to give you fruits all along. Correct?
Yeah.
You don't have to do much. The river is taking care of everything, right? The advantage of having trees around the river is that it will prevent your flooding. first. Correct?
Yeah.
Now you put in so much of poison and what do you call this? Metals into the water, from arsenic to everything. Now these trees are capable of sucking those up also. Correct?
Yeah.
And these trees are like a forest. You know, you take at least 250 meters. I'm not saying 500 meters. You take 250 meters also, and you go along this stretch entirely all across India. India will never face problem of food. Never ever. The problem with capitalism is that if there is too much of supply, money gets less, so somebody like Mr. Manmohan Singh said, in spite of having so much of grains, he could not release it because the market would crash. Right? He is not wrong, he is right. Because that is the system we are living in. So I'm not saying he is wrong. Right? He is a fantastic, he is very fantastic at finance and everything. Right? So and people are dying hungry on the other hand. So what do? You have to take care of the economy at the end of the day, right? That's what he also did.
Yeah.
So he was not wrong in that. But why create a system like this? Why not have surplus when nature is wanting to give you and you can do it? What is bloody stopping you and why you want to create so much of suffering just for food? Doesn't make any sense. The earth is giving you, man. Correct? So why are you restricting it? You see this? We are going along this highway.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, this could have been fruit growing and whatever, and so many things could have happened in just this much stretch.
Yeah.
Right? We are traveling 250 kilometers now. 250 kilometers into one tree every 3 meters, let's say. Correct?
Yeah.
That's a hell lot, yeah. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
And there is so much land available. Just the railway. Railway is supposed to have something like 22% of India is with the railways. Right? 22% of India is with the railways, and if you are telling me the railway is going in a loss, somebody is an idiot. Correct?
Yeah.
Along the railways, poor people have been growing vegetables in the cities. In Bombay, when I used to be living there, I've seen people do vegetables adjacent to the railway tracks. If they can make a living, why can't you corporatize agriculture when you are the biggest landowner in India?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
And why should a farmer go hungry? Or why shouldn't he have the money? Why should he have to leave farming and tell his kid, don't do farming, go someplace else? Does it make any kind of sense?
No.
What do you require? Food, clothing, shelter, Wi-Fi. That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So now since these people have gone back, even it be a Manrega scheme to start with, wherein you are given 100 days of guaranteed work. Right?
Yeah.
Now, if you invest in this scheme properly, you would have ensured 50% of India is out of poverty. Straight away. Correct?
Yeah.
The other 30% odd are in the cities and they are doing some job or something. And then there is MSMEs and everything. So, if we focus on Manrega properly, if we systematize it, I don't think how this country will have a poverty equation of more than 5%. And when everybody has a job and then everybody is working, criminal activities will reduce. Until one wants to go too greedy and fall on his face, apart from that, everybody would want to have a dignified kind of a life. Correct? Some may have a little less, some may have a little more, and whatever, that is a separate thing. But then, food, clothing and shelter will not be a parameter anymore.
Yeah.
I think weaving should be taught to every person as a child. Farming should be taught to every person as a child. Even in the schools, you take them somewhere as a camp. 15 days probably in 6 months, every semester or whatever you say. What do you say? Term, whatever. 6 months, at least 15 days, you must make that child do farming and slog his butt out so that he knows what hard work means and he knows the value from where the food comes from. Right?
Yeah.
Now, that kind of education system, if you don't have, then in a country like India, you will never have a perspective of what this country is all about. Like we do when we have a kid, you ask him to sing, you ask him to do Bharatna or her to do Bharatnatyam or him to do some dance or whatever it may be. Right?
Yeah.
We ask them to pursue all these factors.
Yeah.
We should inculcate that weaving should be part of it. We must inculcate that agriculture and farming should be part of it. Because that is where your base, this is your elements, your basics. After this has come, then you can sing and dance and do whatever you want. Correct? But first ensure the basics. And once that is fulfilled, then you go to the other allied aspects of life. You know? But this is more important, but we don't give this importance.